This episode of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora Templeton, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikta Rabentau, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenreal Maximus, Coderith Novelist, Mira Miri, Celestau Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo, Storm Arrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Barry Danderard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrackhill, AJ Brainswords, and Cass Ram, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Late in the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Umbral Wind, Framboise Sakuro, Bergie, Fudge, and Zephiel. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 386. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston and Mela Vanadar. Rollo Des missing. We know where he is. Don't worry, he's just not here today. It is January. Okay, listen. I have said the date wrong twice in a row now.
Yeah.
Last week, I said it was February. And the week before, I said it was 2014.
Yeah, that's okay.
And no one said anything. That's the crazy. You're so used to my brain rot that you don't even notice that I'm saying it incorrectly.
That's fine.
It is January 28th, 2024. That is the correct date. Today, we are going to continue our review of patch 6.55, or I should say finish it. That means we're going to talk about Tataru's Grand Endeavour, the allied tribal quests, and there's two more, Hildibrand and Island Sanctuary. So it's all happening here, folks. We'll let you know beforehand which parts we're going into, so you can, tune out if you don't want to hear it, if you haven't done all of it. We'll also talk about the Moogle Treasure Trove. Very interesting stuff with that coming up as well. And of course, we'll be reading your MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Thank you for sending in. We have a lot. We can have more. So speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the poster. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate and the what feels like never-ending Pokemon shinies rating.
You've barely scratched the surface.
I know.
My Immortal was months and months of hard work.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been doing it for like 2 months now, maybe? I feel like, at least. We started with
more than two, surely.
Yeah, maybe
more
3.
than 2 months. So you're not even through Generation 1, and we've got like 15 generations to get through. It's going to be wicked.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we move on, I have to mention that Melody Grand Prix, the Eurovision qualifier thing for Norway, has just finished the third semi-final, which means the grand final is will start next week, next Saturday. That means that senior speakers can also join in. There will be a channel that opens up a couple of days before. So that's just a reminder. Grand final this Saturday. That also means that's the last time we'll start on a Sunday for the podcast. So after next week, we'll be back on our Saturday only schedule. So there you go. That's that. Anything else? No. I think that's fine.
I think so.
Let's move on. It's time for recent events. Yep, we'll start with some sad news. Dad of Light has passed away. The That would be literally Dad of Light. Indy, what was his character? Indy. Oh,
it was the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was an Indiana Jones. It was just called like Indy.
It might have just been called Indy Jones.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
Indy Jones.
Yeah.
It was just Indy Jones. Okay, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's sad because now both of them are gone. So
it is sad.
Yeah,
but they're together now at least.
That's
true. And thankfully, their story was immortalized in two forms of media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
They were a good show. The TV show is really good. Very sad, but very good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. So not much more to say other than rest in peace, but yeah, there you go. In less sad news, the Final Fantasy XIV TV show is now officially dead. So
it's not a shame.
Yeah, we knew it was dead already because there'd been no updates for a while. But now on Twitter, Dinesh Shamdasani has finally confirmed it. Dead. We took a look around. We took around a fantastic pilot script by Ben Lustig and Jake Thornton, along with a multi-season plan they built with our showrunners, but got rejected across the board. The size and scale needed to do it right proved too much for anyone to want to risk. Amazon came closest.
Good on you, Amazon.
There you have it.
They could have cut back if they wanted to, but I guess they had a vision and didn't want to deviate from it too much. It's a shame. I don't really know what it was meant to be like, though. I can't envisage a Final Fantasy XIV TV show.
The impression they gave was it was some kind of prequel to the events of A Realm Reborn. I think that they were fair to not compromise on the budget because I think a lower budget would not have worked for this.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool. Some game tie-in media has been fun. Like Arcane must be very high budget. I've never seen such good animation for. It's beautiful, but some of it doesn't end up that good anyway. I think it's better to not bother if you're not gonna.
Yeah,
If you didn't get the funding, it's best to just can it really.
I mean, Amazon came closest apparently, but I think they. Who's the show? There's so many questions for a show like that. I don't know how you could do that properly. And I guess
if the target audience is only 14, oh my Jesus,
God.
God have mercy! The God has denied Georgi entry.
Wow, that was crazy. Okay, Georgi's camera.
If the target audience is 14 players, you're targeting quite a small audience. So, what's the return on a project like this? I don't really know how this would have made money anyway.
Okay, I can tell that Discord is about to have a time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Am I right? Roboting.
It's edging. It's edging a robot right now.
Yeah, you are too. Obviously, what happened to Georgi's camera just then is a sign of the rapture.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just have to power through that. So I guess it's good to know. It was just assumed that it was dead. Now we know for sure it is dead. Okay, moving on then from that. The Moogle Treasure Trove, the first hunt for Genesis. The first hunt for Genesis comes with an update to the whole system, in fact. And it would be nice if we could get that on screen. So let's see what I can do.
This will be from the 30th of January 2024 at 8 a.m. GMT to the 11th of March 2024.
Okay, this Moogle Treasure Trove is a special event with no set schedule. There are many rewards, including brand new items and other items you may have been after. Complete the objectives and collect the rewards. Usual shtick. In recent years, I think this is also the same stuff, but yeah. Okay, so this is the new thing. How to participate. Yeah, consult the Mogpendium, which is a book.
It's a whole new UI. Whoever it is who did Chloe and everything has worked hard on this.
Yeah.
Also, you can clearly see that there's going to be a second Moogle Tombstone event shortly after this one closes, probably in the later half of the year before the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And it has multiple categories and all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very exciting.
Yes, it is. I'm assuming this is another button in our another menu, I should say, in our collection.
Maybe it'll be like, I don't know. It's for an event. I don't know exactly how you'll get into it as easily. Maybe they'll give you an item, a key item to use or something.
Maybe.
But my first thought for this, well, I had two main thoughts. One, fantastic way of doing a general, like, tick box exercise book of, pushing people towards certain content just forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a great way of presenting, do your weeklies.
Yeah.
But also, relic books. This is the perfect system for them.
I hadn't even
This
thought
is the
of that.
perfect way of doing that again. Really nicely done.
What? Oh. What?
In this form.
This is a great format.
How is this?
What they've done here is fantastic in terms of making you do things.
In making you do things. I feel like...
here's the thing. When you log on a Tuesday and it's been the full week reset, are you thinking, I've got to go and pick up Chloe and, I can do my, what are the people called? The weekly people you can do the thing for? The hand-in thing with the crafting and the gathering and the, what are those people called?
The tribe quest?
Custom deliveries?
Yeah.
Or custom
All
deliveries.
that sort of content could be thrown into one, this is your Mogpendium.
But I won't open the Mogpendium, though. I mean, that's the problem. The same way I won't open the Chloe book. Like, I'm not going to open this book.
But a Chloe book, you have to go and remember to go to Chloe and get it every week.
My Chloe book's on my hotbar.
I have it on my hotbar too.
Yeah, but you still have to go get it.
It's a chore. If they could condense everything into this and it just always is there and it properly... Well, yeah, you might do, but I think this is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, you could replace the Chloe book on your hotbar with this.
Yeah, and you don't need to go to Chloe to claim it. You just go in here and it's already 1 week and you do it.
I think you derailed me by saying relic, the relic books, because that made me tune out immediately. But okay, I see what you mean.
Why?
Because I hate that. I hate that.
That was
stuff.
so good.
I hate them with a passion.
They are good. I'm with Mailer on this.
Absolutely.
And Rollo's not here to argue, to be on your side.
No, but I know. I know that Rollo's spirit is with me. Yeah, so there's the Mogpendium. I think this is the same stuff, but they're just elaborating.
It's telling you about the different sections. Yeah.
There's 4 different ways, with the standard objectives being the same as previous events.
And there's weekly objectives, mini Mog challenges, and ulti-Mog challenges.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So standard objectives, you know them. We know them. Everyone knows them. You do the content.
And look at this, though. Furthermore, as of this event, you can now acquire auricular tomes from gates and ocean fishing routes.
That's true.
I have to assume the gates only offer 1 each, because otherwise I feel like that's a very
400.
easy way to get them.
400. I'm just going to do leap of faith.
But keep in mind, you will not get them when you use adventure squadrons. So
and you have
keep
to
that
score
in mind
1,200 points
for all those
ocean
people
fishing.
doing the adventure squadrons.
I'm using them to level.
Yeah, it's great for leveling. I use them under 50, and then I use duty support if I can be bothered.
I haven't had
To run dungeons.
I have.
I usually just do Alliance Raid Roulette with you guys.
Yeah.
And then I'm vastly behind in gear. And everything.
Adventure squadrons are only really good for below 50 because there's so few options to level.
Yeah.
But it's great XP if you have the, it is good.
Yeah.
I miss them not, I wish they'd put more time into them.
Then there's weekly. I mean, I will say this is very good for us.
Yeah.
This event is good for us. Weekly objectives can be completed once a week. Irregular tomestones are awarded upon completion of the relevant weekly objectives. Each player will be assigned 1 objective per week. from the standard objectives. This is a great way to get your hands on even more irregular tombstones, so be sure to try your luck. So there you go. That's weekly. And then there's the mini-mog challenges. These objectives can only be completed once per week. Complete one of the 2 objectives to be awarded irregular tombstones. Make sure to try your hand at a whole host of different objectives. So it's showing fishing. What the fuck? Is this the hunt?
Hunts.
The top left is hunts.
Treasure map things, I think. Triple Triad. And I think that's Fates for the top left.
Oh, Fates.
Oh, yeah, the top left is probably Fates. Yeah.
So weekly objectives will be a standard week objective thing that you have to do, but this one is specifically special challenges.
Yeah. And then there's an Ultimog challenge. These objectives can only be completed once per event period. A sizable tombstone reward awaits those who complete these special tasks. Hungry for adventure? Test your mettle and take on an Ultimog challenge. Check the Mog Pendant for details.
That's so mysterious.
This is the best. This is because now you can I love that rewards for standard objectives are automatically added to your inventory upon completion. Rewards for weekly objectives, mini mog challenges, and ulti-mog challenges must be claimed from the Mogpendium by pressing the claim rewards button.
They've tied in whatever number, like the claim button triggers something.
Yeah.
On the back end, and they can't possibly do that any other way.
I don't understand this part. It's so funny, but fine, I guess. So remember to claim your rewards. Please note that you will be unable to claim rewards via the Mogpendium after the release of patch 7.05.
That's a ways away.
Don't you worry. That's probably not until September, maybe?
Yeah.
September, October?
Yeah. It's because, like Chloe, your objectives are not the same as everyone else's.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So they had to, but still, though. I mean, a modern game would sort that out in the back end.
It would, yeah.
But it would still reward you.
This back end has been designed by a maniac.
Yeah. Chad is right. The claim button does trigger dopamine for people.
That's true.
That's true.
Button make me feel good. So
I'm not going to click any of my claims until right at the end, like a claim.
I know someone whose button makes them feel good.
Seek out itinerant Moogles and exchange your regular tombstones for items. So again, we know how this works. Yeah, you know how this works.
Yeah, this bit's all the same.
Also, if you have tomes from the previous event, I think you can still get. I don't think they've changed.
It always does the most recent and the previous one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll be okay. So everything up to here, not only is I'm happy with, I'm actually very impressed with. I'm very positive for the future of Mog, whatever this is. Moogle Treasure Trove.
This is what we needed. This is what we needed for the drought that is upcoming. I'm very impressed with how they've gone about solving that issue.
Yeah.
Could have just been the same old, but they've gone above and beyond to make a really good system. Really impressed. Unfortunately.
Moving on to items awarded.
Literally all the same shit from ages ago. Nothing of value new. Maybe the Antelope Doe is a little bit hard to get.
The Antelope Doe is one of the rarer ones that people have. Unfortunately, the wearable item for 100 tomes is a repeat. Yeah, so if you've got it previously, you won't need it again.
Yeah.
The Mamasheba neckerchief is 100, so that's the top one.
Yeah.
And then
the doe is probably worth something. Most of the others, I can probably guarantee it's better to just go and farm Titania a few times for the crafting item.
I'll just say, just for our audio listeners, the 100 is the maximum for Mamasheba neckerchief, but then the number 2 is the Antelope Doe horn and the Titania barding, modern aesthetics, modern legend, Yukinko snowflake, Dalmel whistle.
For people don't do
that one is rare. That was from Pagos, wasn't it?
That's from Pagos. So I guess that's something for those that didn't do that. But to be fair, you could get them from the Fate. Literally,
I'm pretty sure
the
market board value of them is quite low.
I think
Yeah.
so too. Yeah, because it's like the first fate that you encounter essentially. Yeah, and then it just goes down into the Dalmel. So what of the
Honestly, there's nothing
There's
particularly impressive.
Boreas, Roselanner, legendary.
Yeah, it doesn't even have anything new. Boreas is Shiva.
Yeah.
Roselander is
Yeah.
Ravana, yeah.
Ravana, yeah.
And then legendary camo is Shinryu.
Yep.
So it's one from 3 different sets. We need to be pushing to Shadowbringers ones at this point.
They have the 2 late
What were they
Allegan
called
armors, but
Lynxes.
3, sorry.
I think they were. They were like the links of light and. Oh no, that was this one, isn't it?
Gwibbers.
Gwibbers, yeah, Gwibbers. Yeah.
They gave us 2 Gwibbers a couple of events ago, and they've never given us Gwibbers again.
You need to continue with the Gwibbers. The whole point of this is, from start to finish, you were going through each expansion and you could get them all. We're at Gwibbers now.
This is starting to become like a very common problem in this game. Like they make all this good stuff, but they can't give us like the good rewards. You need the rewards. You can't just make good content. You need to give us, you gave us the button, which is good. Button makes me feel good, but and no more. And then but we need more stuff to spend our tomes on.
You're rewarding, like, as a new player, this would be fantastic. So you're definitely rewarding your newer intake of players.
Yeah.
But for the people who have been around and already done all the Moogle Tomestones events and have most of these rewards from the previous ones.
Yeah, I will acknowledge that we are a little bit of a special case. We have been around for a while and done a lot.
But this is meant to be for the long-term players who are in the drought.
Yeah.
Because the people who are new have got loads of stuff they can still do.
That's true.
I mean, we'll be able to get ostensibly special Time Worn maps, which are maps that are always guaranteed Portal, so that will be
true.
That's true.
useful for us. Because there's a lot of stuff from maps that we don't personally have. It's just an issue that a lot of this stuff we have.
Yeah. And you get
you
2
can
for
stock
30.
up on MGP.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's too.
You could stock up on
MGP. It's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad. That's good.
Most of the rest, it's not like the random 3 PvP chest pieces. I don't really understand that.
Feels a bit random.
It's
whatever.
They always for these events, for the chest piece or for the gear pieces, it's always the ones that won gear design contests. So those are the ones that get put in here.
I see.
Very unusual. Our housing item's cute, I guess, but again,
Pixie apple basket, the back bar, the bar rack.
Yeah.
There's some.
It's very weak in rewards for anyone who's done the one that got the Mama Shiba at least. Like,
yeah,
it's a little disappointing in the rewards, but the idea is good. And obviously, there's going to be a second hunt for Genesis.
Yeah,
and maybe that will have something a bit more exciting.
I mean, the Mogpendium image they had up above even shows that it uses the same menu.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
but it clearly states irregular tomes of Genesis 1, so there will be a second set of Genesis 2 tomes.
So don't save up for the second hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite 2 books in the Bibble.
Yes. Same.
Which is ironically only had one chapter of Genesis.
Yes. Okay, so there you go. That's
big hype.
Big hype. Yeah, I guess that's actually something that you might not have noticed, is that obviously there's going to be a second one. When I first saw the first hunt, I'm like, is this like first themed? Like, are we going to like?
Yeah.
But no, we are.
Would have been
getting
cool,
2
because they'd have had Ronken tomestones. Right?
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have had. Oh yeah, right. They would have Ronken tomestones. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Moogle Treasure Trove. What?
No consistency in where you've cut my frame on this.
That frame, that whole
you have to work, Georg. You got to move with it.
Okay, so that's Moogle Treasure Trove coming up on January 30th. That's the next Tuesday. Okay. I think we've earned some MogMail. So
oh yeah.
Yay.
So let's do that. Here's MogMail. This is from Potter Conejo. Oh, yes, you. I remember you. From Sargatanas. Theory Crafting Solution 9. Greetings, speakers, and hello, chat. I have a theory about Section 9 and how it all connects to a new beginning and its purpose. Solution 9, I'm assuming this is referring to.
Yeah.
Many from the community have floated that...
changed it to Section 9, literally almost every mention after.
Many from the community have floated that Solution 9 is related to the Ancient's return. What if I say there is a clear flag in the reveal trailer that it is not? That it is not. There is an ad model on a billboard on the street. Lest we forget, the purpose of an ad model is to not only get your attention, but to have your sign stick out in a crowd. The Ancient's way of thinking is as a collective, not to bring much attention to your physical features. So what if this isn't an Asian city, but one that Heidelin created? For who did she create this for? For the people, the scraps, who survived their star collapsing, the people from other reflections. What was left mingled together and created the civilization that is currently Solution 9. We personally do not know in detail how many things travel from a collapsed star to the source. We just know it happens. So what if some people survived the travel? Solution 9 would have been the 9th answer to the 9th umbral calamity for a new set of visitors. Why have we heard nothing of this? Easy. During the 8th umbral calamity, there was a 5-year gap of people not knowing what happened. What if Heidelin was involved as well, and it took 5 years to gather all visitors from the last collapsed star? Thus, a worldwide memory wipe happened, and the timeline continued as normal. All new visitors are then transferred to Solution 9 to live their lives anew. So then, what if the new leader tournament is to also decide the fate of people in Solution 9? People would easily say to set them free, but what if there's a twist? Permanently seal away the people of Solution 9, and 14 keeps its aesthetics as it always has. A medieval type of feel and continue as before, or set that society free to mingle with the rest of the world, and 14 then goes from a Final Fantasy VI aesthetic to a Final Fantasy VII aesthetic for future expansions. More modern and less medieval. So my question is this. If my theory is correct, would you guys see the people of Solution 9 free or seal them away to keep 14 as is? I love that you present this, and may I say, crazy theory.
Very
and then your question is just like, don't question my theory. Just within my world, would you set them free or not?
I mean, the theory itself already... the part that confused me was that he talks about the 8th umbral calamity. That never happened.
Right.
The most recent calamity is actually the 7th umbral calamity.
Yes. But, I thought maybe...
Why would Heidelin be... Like, there was a time when Heidelin disappeared, mostly, and like we couldn't commune with her. Are you saying during that time she decided to wander on to a different world that has already been destroyed?
No, he's saying
somehow shuttle people over.
In the 5-year gap between the calamity and A Realm Reborn, remember that everyone forgot what happened.
Yeah. When the lightning world had already gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am struggling a little bit. I think so. So what must have happened in that 5-year gap is that we had 2 more calamities, and somehow no one remembers.
Well, it's convenient, isn't it? No one remembers.
So when future Graha and future son of Biggs are talking about the Black Rose 8th Umbral Calamity, they're really referring to the 10th Umbral Calamity, but they'd forgotten about the other 2 that Heidelin had conveniently wiped our memories of.
Yes. Well...
so very... Do you know...
This is what happens when you cook and you never stop. This is when you cook and then just serve. And there's been no feedback. You've got to
round table your ideas. I think of it more.
I think you need to go back and think about this one a little more. It's impossible for us to discuss this because it doesn't hold.
It's very shape.
It doesn't make sense.
I appreciate the effort put into it.
Yeah.
To answer the final question,
Yeah.
if your theory was correct,
Yeah.
no, I would free them. I know other people wouldn't, but I'm fine with
I would seal them.
contaminating the world.
I'd be fine with an FF7 aesthetic MMO, but I don't like when an MMO just would change entirely halfway through for some reason.
Yeah.
So for consistency, I'd keep them sealed. But
It'll be our Cataclysm, Mila.
Yes.
God, yeah. Imagine people would have really hated Cataclysm a lot more if it suddenly turned to a sci-fi game for sure. You're right. That would have been insane.
Well, hopefully you'll get back to us once you've sorted some of the stuff out.
There are a few kinks that need just tinkering with.
And that stuff comes from someone who loves crazy theories, but you've gone too far. You're one step too far. Okay, well, thank you.
This is like a conspiracy theory.
It is giving, the meme with the always sunny dude.
Aliens.
It's all of them. It's just everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
All right, we can do another one then. Let's have a look. This one's from... Oh, no audio on that one. Lord Meow.
Your Meowjesty.
Hello. I hope I remember
Hello.
This is live on a different day than normal to hear it read. I'd like to ask, are there any plans to cover other content or features that were called in the Remnants of a Realm series? Oh god. Remnants of a Realm series. For example, recently a lot of players who joined in the pandemic learned about the old cooldown system and how you had a good opener and a just send it opener based off what cooldowns were going to be ready, or cross-class skills that were assumed to be obtained rather than optional.
The good old days, you mean?
Yeah. Yes is the answer. I should elaborate a little more, but yeah, the answer is yes. There's going to be one on what's it called? Not Diadem, but the one that came after, the content that came after. Eureka! It's going to be one on Eureka. That one's next. I don't know. You're talking about old cooldown systems, so you're talking about like, the just send it thing. I remember, but that was just
we just had
bad
different rotations back then.
Yeah,
and there were more skills with larger cooldowns. But do you mean because cooldowns didn't reset after a wipe?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh yeah, that's true. That stuff. Yeah.
Usually, if it was a boss pull, you would wait anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It was only for like trash pulls that you would do. You'd just send it.
Yeah.
Can we please wait the 7 minutes for my hallowed ground cooldown to return?
I mean, yeah, because you shouldn't have died. You shouldn't have wiped us.
It was funny because
Scholar.
Because having to wait for the cooldown reset was disincentivized like white mages from using benediction.
It was weird game design.
Yeah.
It was it was old school, but in a modern game, and it didn't quite mesh with
I don't know,
especially because the content's not designed like old games. You run through an empty dungeon to get back to the boss arena because that's how raids are. In this, it's just an arena anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's necessarily enough there for a full episode. I could see one on like the evolution of like cross-class skills to role skills to what we have now.
Yeah, I have a list of things I wanted to do, and I think I'm just going to do one on just like systems, like old systems, so I can put all of that in there. The class system
is very interesting, and cross-class skills were very interesting, and the fact that they've just abandoned classes, which is fair enough. But it would be interesting to think about what like classes jobs would have if they had to have them.
Yeah, that's true.
Where we would be. I really liked the way Arcanist split into two, and I kind of wish they had done more with that as a general system. But there was lots they fucked up with it, like the having to spend 50,000 Grand Company seals or whatever to reset your plus 12 int to be plus 12 mind or whatever, so you get your maximum healing. And some things were stupid.
attribute points.
Elemental resistance based on your patron deity.
Yeah. Stupid.
Good times.
TP. I mean,
This game used TP was so
difficult
good.
life of TP.
Being a caster was great because you could just sprint and use all your TP. And everyone
Always,
else had
I
to
still
walk.
do that to this day. I am so like broken. Like, because I remember for healers, it was always sprint because the theory was that if you sprint, it counts as like a dramatic loss of like a bar, and that would trigger limit break buildup. So you would always sprint in like content to like push the limit break bar up. So yeah, there is a lot coming up for Roar, but currently I have a major undertaking with chronicling all of Eureka, which that's a fun journey, but it's a long journey, so it's gonna take a while. But it is nostalgic to go back. Also, it's weird to go back because we've reached a point now where I can go back to our podcast to listen to like feedback on like Eureka, which is kind of fun. But yeah, so that's next. Yeah, you'll probably see Secrets of a Realm public before Remnants of a Realm.
When are you going to cover Baldessian Arsenal?
We'll have to do it first.
When am I going to cover Baldessian Arsenal? I mean,
I assume it would be part of the Eureka series, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it will
the point I'm more so trying to make is when are you going to do Baldessian Arsenal?
Oh, I don't have to do it. I'm not going to do it.
okay.
I'll find someone else who did it and analyze from there. I don't have to do that. Maybe we'll do it on stream one day for research.
That'd be nice.
Well, we'll need to leech off that Discord group.
I would love that to happen. Well, ideally, they'll just give us like cross-world of like global cross-world data centers, because then I won't have to level another character through Eureka.
True.
That's true.
Okay, well there you go. That's some stuff you can look forward to, I guess. Lord Meow. Also, thank you for suggestions. Let's jump onto the main story because we have a lot to talk about today. Patch 6.55, part 2. Yeah, we can start with Hildibrand then. Hildibrand is back.
The last part of this expansion.
Yes.
Yeah, we did have to go Yedley mad. What were we investigating at the time? Were we trying to find... Was this the point where we were still trying to find Poo-Poo's friend? Is that what we were looking for?
Yes.
Yeah, we've gotten... I think we had a lead on the on where to get Poo-Poo's friend, and we asked around Yedlimad for people who have seen whatever the merchant man ends up being called.
Wasn't our lead that we knew about a merchant who went to Garlemald, and that's how we theorized that merchant had encountered Poo-Poo's friend because we found evidence of the wreckage.
Yeah.
And he's very rich.
Yes.
And we are concerned about how he ended up suddenly getting very rich. Because we go and talk to his fisherman friend, and he's like,
abandoned.
Yeah, he's left me alone, but he's become mega rich, and he's got so rich, he tried to buy Yedlimad, and he's bought the golden
Yes.
And then he's filling it with trinkets that he's paying loads of money, and then Brandyhill thinks, I wonder if he's using the replication power to replicate gold. And no one listens to him.
Well, that's when we're accosted, then that's when we hear about a member of what's the name of the armed forces of Razahan?
The scales, I don't know.
Yeah. the Radiant Host.
Radiant.
Yeah, we hear that there's apparently a commotion that the Radiant Host are dealing with down the beach, and that's when a funny pre-rendered not pre-rendered, but like fully like modeled cutscene happens, and you can always tell because it switches the time of day to morning, like clear skies, daytime.
Yep.
Previously, we've had how Warrior of Light doing volleyball, soccer, basketball, and
this time it was cricket.
No, it was baseball, Mailer. Don't even start,
guys.
It was baseball. So that was very humorous. But then there are also like 4 Dr. Lugays that we have to deal with. So so not only was like not only is he replicating gold, he's replicating minions.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
No, at this point, Poo Poo uses his machine, uses his flying saucer to try and erase things because it can only erase things that are cloned. So it's not erasing things that actually like are real. So like if you use this on a bunch of people that look the same, it will only erase the clones. It won't erase the real person that the clones were made from. So don't worry, it doesn't kill people that didn't already exist, but it still kills people that did exist. Just they were clones.
Yeah.
So there's still an ethical conundrum there. Are clones real?
It's a good question.
That's something I'd love to discover one day.
Yeah.
Anyway, Godbert and Julian are here because they've been contacted by this merchant that we don't remember the name of to enter a trade deal. But then Godbert's like, Godbert and Julian are like, well, we can't enter a trade deal with this person because they're
Van
like
Hoody.
they're unethical. Van Hoody. That's the name of the merchant.
Yeah.
So, but Godbert has an organized meeting, so that's when we get to go meet with this Van Hoody so that we can arrest them, stop them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Confront them.
Yeah, we're confronting them, and we go to like the most obvious battle arena. And I guess this part of the story feels weird because they had to put this fight in somewhere, I guess. But yeah, he's like, haha, gotcha. And then he's got like his little his henchman in the background. And then he goes on to an airship and leaves, and then we fight.
He tells
Zura.
us that he wants to clone us.
Yeah, well, yes, that little detail.
And that will be his super army.
Yeah.
And we can say yes or no, and it ends up we're not going. So what he's done is he's cloned himself many times for the prayer aspect, and he's collected loads of crystals for the ether aspect, and he summons a primal, and he fancies the divine aspect Azura, and so with this prayer, he summons Azura.
Yes.
Which for some reason he thinks can beat us, despite the fact that it is well known that we have traveled to the edge of the universe to defeat the manifestation of despair itself.
Yes.
Yeah. And Azura is like 50% hot and then like 50% demon faces.
Which in some people's eyes is still hot, Mela, so it could be 100% hot for some.
100% hot to some.
Yeah. But yeah,
actually,
let's talk about the fight. Yeah, the fight.
It's actually a good fight. It's
yes.
It has
this was the fight this was the fight that was at FanFest.
Yeah. No T-shirt awarded because Yogi didn't deserve it. Maybe another time, Yogi. It's a good fight. It has a small number of very high damage mechanics. So there were a few deaths of the DPS and maybe healers in my run. But for the most part, it's not too hard. The most interesting mechanic is the one where it does 3 different types of attack, which then the giant version of it does. And sometimes that teleports us. So you have to position well for that. That one's quite fun. And then like the other one where it just spins in a circle is not hard, but fast. And people kind of die to that a lot.
Yeah, it has like a weird like hit, like a snapshot.
It's quite fast. Yeah, it's a bit odd snapshot thing. But it's a really cool fight.
I will say overall, this is one of the least impactful like trials in terms of like the feel it has, the impact it has in the story overall. Like it feels like, fight this, and then we immediately just like essentially take down the boss, the bad guy.
Yeah, it wasn't very impressive, and he flees or attempts to flee, and then he gets shot down by Poo Poo. By Poo Poo's friend. And then we encounter Poo Poo's friend, and they say, Poo Poo's like, no, I'm glad you're okay. And he's like, yes, I'm fine, thank you. He recounts his traumatic experience of being tricked by Van Hoody and thinking that he was doing a service to him for helping rescue him by printing whatever he wants, but then he ended up being captured or whatever. And then he hates humans, and him and Poo Poo have a fight, which is cool.
Well, he wants to like destroy.
He wants to invade the planet.
All humanity.
Yeah. Which, honestly, like, your lasers are quite strong, but you really think you two are gonna take on Eorzea. The moment Merlin has them in her shites, it's over.
In her
Okay,
shites.
Thanks. Okay. So
yeah, the Poo-Poo and Poo-Poo's friend fight each other, which causes Poo-Poo's friend's spaceship to go into self-destruct mode.
Oh, this is scary.
We don't have a solution, but then Hildibrand and Brandy Hild come together. Hildibrand tosses Brandy Hild in the wrong direction, but
This
Brandy
was my
Hild
favorite
turns
scene.
himself turning himself into a boomerang.
Yeah, that was so funny. So
And
dumb.
he sacrifices himself by because he can't get it to stop self-destructing, he sends it as far away as possible.
Mhm.
yes.
Blowing up in the process.
Yeah.
Potentially forever and dying.
Mm.
Which was a worry, because
yeah.
he is quite a good character.
Yes. So the day has been saved. We go. Oh, also we forgot to mention that during a lot we forgot to mention. I feel like we've skipped a lot, so I'm sorry. But there is a moment when I think Godbert just like casually drops that they're not alien after all.
Yeah, that was a lie.
A very
Or
nonchalantly
Lie.
dropped there. No, it wasn't a
Yeah,
lie. Well,
they misunderstood.
They
their family
misunderstood.
line.
Yeah. So that's dropped as well, and then I'm only thinking about what happens like post credits, but the wrap up was that the Poo-Poo and the friend decide that they want to go explore the world.
They want to live here.
Yeah, they want to live here, and so they
don't have a home
Poo-Poo
anymore because a meteor destroyed their home.
Yeah, that's also an important lore.
That's an important plot point. Yeah,
the reason they're alive is because they were out exploring at the time when, sadly, their planet experienced the Great Depressioning.
Yes.
The rest of the universe experienced.
Yeah.
Sucks for them.
So now they're here on Hydaelyn, and so Poo-Poo gives us their ship.
It no longer has the no longer has the ability to replicate matter.
Yes,
but it can.
It's a replica of their ship because remember, Hildibrand goes flying off on Poo-Poo's actual ship.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, isn't that the friend's ship?
No, he does as well. Yeah, because he wants to go and fix it because it was damaged, and he like tinkers with it and then flies off.
Oh yeah, right.
And he's sitting on it with a cup of tea.
Yeah. Right, you're right.
Both ships disappear.
Both ships are gone. Okay, and then end. Essentially, we wrap up with the other characters. They say, Godbert goes, "Hey, I'm doing the relic if you wanna." And then the conspiracy theorist guy is like, "Wow, conspiracies are real." And then,
but then he's like, "Well, if they're not aliens, why are they so strong?" And it goes back to the original point.
Yes.
And he still has a conspiracy to work out.
Yeah.
Good on him.
But then there's a post. Then there, roll credits. They do the funny song. They run funny. End. Then there's like this weird, very like cinematic cutscene of the creep. That's like
Nashi's stalker.
Yeah, it was like he's sitting at the beach, I think, and there's this shooting star. It looks like at first, and then it's like something coming towards Earth or Hydaelyn. And he runs, like it crashes, and then he runs towards it. And like there's all these like camera angles and like weird like camera tracking. And then he looks through some bushes where the impact happened, and you can see the legs of Hildy. Or Brandy.
Brandy.
And then that was a good bit. And it's spooky, but he's fine.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes. And that is Hildibrand, which then leads to unlocking the next relic step, which we have already talked about.
This didn't have a lot to it. They basically just had to dance, and the more people who danced, the stronger the spell was.
Oh yes.
And then they don't have enough power, and one person's not dancing. It's Geralt, and then Geralt dances.
And he does the Kingdom Hearts game over screen.
Yeah.
For a second, as he enjoys the dance.
It was good.
And then he joins them.
It was an amusing end, but it wasn't much to it. And then you go and get tomestones and get your weapon. Nice relics, though.
Yes.
Big
I-
fan
We
of them.
talked about that
I
last
think they're
week.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about it last time. That's Hildibrand.
Overall, what do you think of the Hildibrand storyline for this expansion? Because my feeling is it wasn't as much of a mystery as it has been in the past, particularly in comparison to maybe A Realm Reborn and Stormblood's storylines.
Yeah.
I felt as if it was more a series of moments that they wanted to use to experiment with like the in-game engine and cinematography rather than like, because the story itself is very point A to point B, in my opinion, this time.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
the mystery is solved like in the first is actually just solved in the first quest when you were like trying to figure out what the UFO thing is, and we learned that it's poo-poo.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah, that could have been
Luge
done.
as well.
Well,
It's also revealed
the
in
tr-
the first quest.
The mystery part, which is like what happened to Poo-Poo's friend, is like pretty easy to conclude for yourself anyway, as
Yes,
well. Like
that too.
nothing
Yeah.
is difficult to come up with the solution for.
No.
I think they've progressively. I think the Realm Reborn one was fantastic, and I think the one with the old men was incredible.
The old sirs.
They were so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you're right. I think this one lacked the
Well,
investigation aspect, which is what he is. He's an investigator.
I think some of this has to do with the fact that it didn't seem like they really wanted to do Hildibrand like again yet, but there was such a demand from the community that they
Definitely.
went along, because we didn't have Hildibrand at all last expansion. Like there was no
Yeah.
Hildibrand.
He'd gone to the first and then did nothing on the first because they didn't have one, and then now they had to bring him back.
Yeah.
Enjoyed
Yeah.
the part on the first with Hildibrand. I think that was one of the stronger parts of this story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that bit was okay.
Yeah.
And finding Poo-Poo was good, but in
Yes.
terms of like an investigation, I don't think this was it. I think they need to go back to more of he's an inspector extraordinaire, and he sort of blunders into the clues correctly somehow.
Yeah.
But there's a real crime happening. There's a real mystery happening.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
This did the best part about one of the best parts of this Hildibrand was the roleplay section as God, but that was very fun, and I really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. That was
That was fun.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
yeah, I've enjoyed it.
And the new characters they've introduced, I really like Brandy Hill. I think he was very
Brandy
funny
Hill
and
is a
stupid,
clever
but,
character. Yeah, I like that.
like they've done good with the characterization, and even Delian, the conspiracy man, was an interesting character. They were all good characters.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the mystery plot. It was just a story. It was just another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rewards were good. We got to wind up
Oh,
Poo-Poo, and we
rewards
got
were great.
a UFO as well. I love both
Yeah.
of them.
Yes.
Oh
they're great,
yeah,
they're
having
great.
Poo-Poo in the game finally.
Yes. Yes. The dream.
The one thing we were worried wouldn't come
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we
Yes.
didn't see any of it in the MSQ.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Poo-Poo.
Yeah. So there you go, Hildibrand. I'd say it's probably one of maybe the weakest ones of the arcs,
Yeah,
but
probably.
still enjoyable. I would still recommend doing it if you haven't. Mostly for like just watching them push the engine so much, like to like you'll see stuff you'll never see in the MSQ, or maybe you'll see in the future because
Yes.
they might be
Yeah.
experimenting.
This is where they experiment with
I
it.
definitely think the last cutscene was them experimenting with like cinematography in the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was weirdly cinematic, wasn't it?
Also, like the lighting was very like
Yeah.
good. Because usually in a cutscene nowadays it's very flat. It's just flat lighting, and that's it. Yeah.
Also, because a lot of the stuff is not based on us actually playing as our like jobs, like they get to experiment a lot with like what our character can do.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on from Hildibrand then to the allied tribe quests. Or, well, we'll do a little recap of all of the beast tribe quests, like the original. The tribe
The ones
quests
we haven't covered.
Yeah, tribal quests.
Yeah.
So Omicrons and
Loporits.
Okay, well, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the Loporits or the Omicrons?
Well, the Omicrons came first.
Okay.
So this is basically us helping Jamming Way and N7000 build up the cafe at the end of the universe, the last dregs.
Mhm.
And during our experiments with that, a new planet is born. So they're trying to like experiment with like what bringing hope to the various races of or species of Ultima Thule will do to the zone, since it's all created via Dynamis.
Mhm.
So they start off with the Corellians, the Peacekeepers, and the Freedom Fighters. They get them to come to work together, and at this point, well, no, before that, they have an empty planet that they call Elysian,
Mm.
which has seemingly sprung up from nothing, but it's arguably from the hope that Jammingway and N7000 have started to create with the existence of the cafe. And as they go through the quest line, they bring hope to the various races that exist in Ultima Thule, creating more and more of Elysian. But they have a problem with the Nibiruans, I think is what they're called. The ones that came to they created the perfect society. But that ends up getting solved in the final quest line. I like this storyline because it discusses like is Dynamis-based life real? Which I know other people don't like. Like the idea of like life coming to existence from other things other than ether. But like I like the idea of like finding a new reason to live. I really like the themes of this storyline.
It was the best of the three.
I
don't generally like. Usually, I don't like tribal quests hugely because a lot of them follow the same formula, and they have almost no like real stakes. But this one felt like it was quite lore appropriate as well as just being interesting.
I think it's actually got quite heavy stakes in the overall implications of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas funny elephants riding hippos, nah, not listening.
The Arcasadara questline is easily one of is so inconsequential feeling compared to both of these latter two quest lines.
Yeah.
Chad is correct. Like we are essentially creating new dragons.
Yeah,
which
true.
Could eventually one day interact with the dragons that still exist on our planet. What will happen when Dynamis-based life comes together with Ether-based life? What is the
how far out of it can it exist? This is such a Dynamis-rich
area.
Well,
they've already suggested that they can leave Ultima Thule because the Omicrons. The thing that started this off was the Stigma Dreamscape, with Stigma 4 wanting to like invade our planet.
The Loperate quests.
It's Dreamingway. Dreamingway wanting to expand on their music creation while also helping others create new dreams for themselves, because of the fact that obviously the people of Atheris aren't all going to move to the moon.
Right.
Yeah, it was all people who didn't have jobs. It's just helping the unemployed in Rabbit Society.
Yeah, it's essentially it's sort of sharing a theme with the Omicrons. It's trying to find a purpose.
It does, which took away from
find a new purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. You know, it's something we've already gone through to a probably a more impactful or important
existential
way. Yeah, much more existential, much more deep and interesting and philosophical. Whereas this was rabbits that some of them they were just a bit sad because they'd lost their job, but realistically there's so much they could have done to remedy the situation anyway.
Yeah. Well,
but they don't know how, because they've only ever known to work for us.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's what they were created for. Now they have to find a meaning beyond what they were created. Well, some of them did.
Yeah. So yeah, you eventually, everyone finds their little niche. They work on things. They start a radio station.
I love the aesthetic of Counseling Way turned Talking Way. Of just like this ashen fucking Meteon-esque Loperate.
Yeah. Now radio host.
Yep. Fraser as a Loperate.
Yes. And that's essentially it for that story. I mean, it isn't as deep as the Omicron one. You know, would they need a new purpose? They need something else to do. They found something else to do.
Nice. I would go over all this expansion. It's Omicrons, then Loporrits, then Arxidara.
Yeah. Yes, I think I would agree with that.
I think so too.
Then, so let's talk about like because last time we talked about the allied tribe quests, we were doing the Shadowbringers ones. How did you find the quests, the daily quests, and like annoyance? Like how were there
individuals?
Yeah, like the dailies that you had to do.
I thought Arxidara was relatively unproblematic. There was nothing that I found particularly annoying about it because of the locate. The main thing that I think impacts how enjoyable or how much of a bother allied tribe quests are is the location of where you accept them.
Yeah. The
Loporrits were the worst.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah.
Because you had to get the teleporter, but then you had to go and use them to either the lift NPC or
when
fly
you
up.
Get the fucking
then you had
out...
to go out onto the moon.
Yeah. Worst quests are the ones where you had to go out on the moon rather than the ones that are just inside Bestaway's burrows.
So,
when you have to get to like Heimdall's fucking sad shit, whatever it's called.
Heimdall's sad shit.
That is so annoying.
It's none of the Loporrit ones particularly were enjoyable quests.
No,
I don't think so. I think I agree. I like the one where you dance with Dancing Way.
Dancing
one
was
feel
okay,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Arxidara ones.
Arxidara one, the one where you like chuck the powder on them.
Yeah, the powder
was at least aesthetic.
But it was annoying if you'd like hadn't done it in a while and
knew
you
them,
forgot. You forgot who they were. So
if
you'd
you
be
forget
like,
them,
for fuck's sakes, I have to do.
But once you're doing it daily, you remember them every time. It's fun.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
you do. You remember when you do it the first time. When you come back and you're trying to level, I don't fucking remember. And I'm just throwing what I need to.
Yeah.
Omicrons were not. They were a middle ground. There were some that were annoying and some that were easy.
I wish they could stick to the fact that it's gathering and stop doing the ones where you have to like write a mount and use mount action on the thing in the fucking middle of nowhere. Stop that. Also, you had an area where you could. Why can't we gather everything from the same area?
Yeah, I wish all the gathering was in Elysian as well. I agree with you on
weird.
They have. I mean, I think from a design perspective, they have to make you spend a certain amount of time doing them.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you like the? Did you like? We didn't talk about this. Do you like Elysian and do you like the Dreamer's Hopes, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Do you like them aesthetically?
Oh god, the
Elysium
one
got interesting over time.
Elysian, yeah, that one looks good. I think
I don't really remember off the top of my head, but it had like unique biomes, which was cool.
Hoper's Hold.
Mm-hmm.
Hoper's Hold looks.
Loporrit one was not. No, it was okay. It was a bit garish.
It
but,
looks.
I mean, that's Loporrit.
It is garish.
Yeah, it looks like a playland.
I like the mural they make. That's my favorite thing about Hoper's Hold.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't like the Loporrit one. You could tell where progress was going to happen in the quest. You know what I mean? Like in the reputation, like you saw all the slots that were going to get filled in. I don't really like that because it makes you like you kind of know fair. What's going to happen, which is why I liked the other two because with the Arxidara, which we have talked about, it just gradually gets more grander, right? Like it just looks.
I liked the development of Sparna. I thought it was
that was good.
At least very like it changed the overworld of the game.
And it's
cool.
That's so rewarding afterwards because you'll always see it when you're in that zone, that like upgraded area. And Elysium as well. Like you don't know what's going to pop up next. You don't know where it's going to be, what type it's going to be.
And you get to see all the different. You get to see all the different like alien races interact with one another, both in Elysium and also at the cafe as well.
Yes, true.
I wish one thing. This is such a small like complaint. I wish that the actual zone where you pick up the quests, or like the little platform you pick up the quests for Omicrons, also played the Elysian theme. Because the theme is heard at the cafe and on Elysian, but it's just the Ultima Thule theme at the zone at the quest pickup area, and I don't dislike the song as much as other people.
No,
but it does get annoying.
Yeah. I think that having if there's one thing we've learned from this expansion is that having like lyrics in the overworld theme,
it's a risk.
It gets more grating than
Yes.
ones that don't.
It does, yeah.
I think, and I think we've said this before, I think it's fine to have the lyrics in the lyrical version, like in the MSQ.
Mm.
But once you finish the final quest, I think it should have gone back to the non-lyrical version of the song.
I agree.
Probably do agree. I don't go there that often, so I do quite like it when I go there and get to listen to this full song, but probably is true.
Yeah.
That they should just toggle it off for general use.
Because when there's lyrics, you become more aware. You just hear the words, and you tune in. It's very distracting.
To answer chat, Lahi works versus whispers because Lahi is not real
It's
words.
not a real language. You don't hear anything.
Yeah. And Lahi's, everyone knows Lahi.
Yeah.
Do you know Lahi?
Okay. Well, let's then talk about the Allied Tribe quest.
I have nothing to say on
Dinner
this.
and a
playing
show?
Enshrouded.
I think. Oh, you haven't done Allied either? You haven't? Oh, mail out. Okay.
No.
Simple premise.
Basic.
But yeah.
Yeah. Jamming Way wants to provide entertainment for the cafe, to bring even more people to come visit the cafe from somewhere. I have no idea who these mysterious new patrons he's searching for are, but he wants more patrons.
Yes. Yes.
So he's like, people.
You know people.
Oh, no, first he's like, the Loporits over on Bestoways Burrows, they've got some ideas. So they go there first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think once they pick up some technology and like convince Dreamingway, like, this is a good idea. Oh, we can report on it. Dreamingway has the idea. Like we can broadcast this to the world.
Yeah.
And then also like Talkingway has the idea of like, why don't you invite some people from Aetheris to come join?
Yes.
I think.
And they talk about like they'd heard about this hippo racing stuff.
Hippo races.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, do you happen to know them?" And then
oh yeah, that's what inspired the race, because of the hippo races.
Yes. So we go to the Arxidara. We go to I literally just did this quest. What's her name?
It's
something. I can never remember names, but chat.
well, no, it's because it's got like 3 consonants in a row.
Yeah,
which I think is, but I can't remember exactly her name. But Trina, like, that's it.
Is it Trina?
Yeah, it's Trina without an I. So it's like that.
Right. Trina. Okay, yeah. So we go to her, and she's like, "No, way too busy. I have no time.
I don't have time to go to the end of the universe. I've got deliveries to make."
And so we're like, "Oh, okay, weird." So we go off to the side, and we're like, "Well, what do we do now?" And that's when that guy is like
it's the leader of the naked Arcasadara.
Yeah. And he's like, you have to convince her.
we know Akala. We know Trina wants to race.
Yes.
So we're like, yeah. So then with Akala's help, we're like, yeah, you want to come and race? And then like, she's like, okay, just for a little bit.
Well, there is a little mini game there where you have to like, well, it's not even a mini game.
You do have to convince it. It's one of those conversation thingies.
Yeah, and if you don't answer the correct one, it just disappears and you get to try again. Like it just keeps going until you do it. Convince her, essentially. And then that's that first quest. And then you go on to the next one where we travel to Ultima Thule again, to the cafe, I think. Or what is it? It's a cafe, right? It's a
cafe.
And we meet with essentially everyone's gone. Like there's no one there. We're like, well, where is everyone? And they're like, they're preparing for the big race. Because everyone wants to join in on the race. All of the people that we have, like all of them.
But the Nibberans are like, this is pointless.
Yes.
But we'll participate.
Yes.
To prove that your aims, your goals are meaningless.
Yeah.
We'll win.
Okay. And then preparations for the race begins. I think I don't really remember there being anything worth mentioning before the race. No, not really. So let's just jump.
No, not really. They
jump
just
to the
tell
race.
They just tell us that you're going to be in it as well.
Yes, we're in it, and there will be artillery. There will be artillery will happen.
Taking out races. Perfectly harmless artillery. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill anyone.
No. And then they do the whole they warn you there's going to be a long several cutscenes will play, blah blah blah, and then they do a presentation of all the people in their cars or their vehicles, I should say, and they present us in our little mount with the.
It's the mount from the Loppert questline.
Yes, and then but hold on, there's one more. There's someone else, and it's the
Nibberuns.
Nibberuns? Is that what they're called?
I think it is.
Yeah, weird name. And they're just standing there, and they're like, "Oh, do you want a vehicle or what do you?" It's like, "No, that won't be necessary." Turns into god creature.
They just summon Rala.
Yeah,
which apparently is something they can do, which is terrifying because Rala is actually quite powerful, and if they can summon Ralas whenever they want, very scary.
Yes. So then the race begins, and I was like, "Are we gonna?" For a second, I thought, "Am I gonna play? Is that what's happening?"
Like a chocobo race type thing.
Yeah, but
that would have been horrible.
Yeah. And then it's live shoutcasted even by Talking Way and Dreaming Way, which is them just superimposed in front of the screen sometimes.
It's one of the few things from patch 6.55 that was actually included in the 6.5 trailer. Most of the content from 6.55 did not make it into that trailer.
Right. There was also a tiny mention of there was another way there that had worked on the vehicle for us, right?
Inventing Way,
and they had mentioned that they were going to do something to our mount at some point
to make it competitive.
Yes, and then the hilarity ensues as the race goes on. It ends up with just us, the Trina, and the god. Dude. Rala. And now you get to make a choice in which order you're going to activate the boosts on your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a music thing, and the other one's a high speed boost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it matters.
What did you do it in? No, I don't know if it matters either because I didn't lose.
No, I didn't lose either. I did the. Yeah, which one did you do?
I did music first, and then I did the boost.
Shit, we did the same thing. So that's what I thought would be logical.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to lose.
No. So distracted the hippo in front of us, and then sped past Rala. So did music, and did anyone else? Did it pick the third? Oh, well, it made me pick again. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay, well,
it just doesn't want you to lose. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's a long cutscene to get to that point as well, so that would have been very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you race, and there's you're really close. It's a close call, and then you win by a nose.
It's a photo finish.
And then
yep.
The victory is ours.
People are happy with the race, and they're like, we'd love to do a race again, but the Nibberun are like, it's frustrating, but maybe it is worth living if we get to feel this competitive feeling again.
Yes. And then we get a trophy. And
we do get a trophy. I forgot about them. I forgot about the housing item you get.
Yeah, you get a trophy.
and you get the Loppert dance as well.
Yes. And then I think they also give radios. They give a radio to the
Oh yeah, they give a radio to all three of. There's a radio now at all three tribe zones for this quest line, or for this expansion. And there's two things you can hear. One of which I don't remember. The other one though is it makes vague reference to the evil Mikote that has appeared in all previous quest lines. That does not appear in this one.
Yeah, true. I was expecting, for some reason, I was under the impression that was going to happen, but it didn't. So he didn't.
I mean, it had happened 3 times previously. There was a pattern.
Yeah, there was. And that's it. That's a quick faulty memory summary of the Allied Tribe
I think
quest.
this was a much better summary than of Hildibrand.
Yes. Might have to cut out the Hildibrand one. I don't know. Okay. Then, so that's, I would say that was pretty good. It was very satisfying, and when you've done them all, like, you get, like, a nice little bow on that. Speaking of wrapping up, it was fun. I had fun with that quest. Speaking of wrapping up, Tataru's Grand Endeavour also comes to an end in this. And this is the one that I did literally just right before this show, so this should stick.
Okay, go ahead.
But as usual, I cannot remember names.
Okay. I don't remember the names of the characters either, but I know who you're going to be talking about.
So the quest and starting quest NPC, it's the lady. You know the lady. And
the lady you've been Magina.
There you go. And she's back at it again. She's talking about she has an idea for she wants to make something new. She wants to make new uniforms for like the Studium, or no, not the Studium.
Yeah, the Studium.
Yeah, the Studium. Yeah. And she wants us to help with that, and that brings in the second character. That guy, which is kind of funny though, because when he walks in, you have the choice of going, "Oh, hello, you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's the most me answer ever." So that's good.
Both of the options don't suggest you know him.
Yeah,
but if you say "Oh, you," he's like, "Oh, thank you. You remember who I am?" I was like, "Yeah, dude."
I did remember his face. I didn't know his name.
I don't think he's ever introduced us by name.
No,
he says I think that's genuinely like, yeah.
So this is the first time we hear his name, he's joining us on this endeavor to help see if we can get this order in to or design these new robes or uniforms, as she says. And then we just embark, which I thought, this is a really strange quest. When I was doing it, I was like, this should be the last quest, and we're like just still doing this. And so we go into the Studium, and we ask people, the students, I guess, or the people that work there, and they're getting we're getting wildly different feedback, and it's kind of sounds more and more impossible to make this outfit. You can't just make one fits all, because there's so many different facets of what they do there. So essentially it leads nowhere. That's a lost cause. We can't do that, it seems. So we go back, and that's when
Tataru's
yeah, go on.
Well, Tataru's like, well, I'm glad that you experienced that, because even if it was a flawed idea, you still tried it out.
Yeah. And that's when that other dude is starting to be like, I miss home. I miss home.
I feel like I'm not doing everything I can do to help our Palikas stand while we're here, living a relatively good life while they're trying to rebuild.
Mm-hmm. And that's when the real quest storyline actually really starts, it feels like. So they're thinking about going. He speaks to Magina as well. It's like, do you want to? She's like, I don't know. I haven't thought about that before.
I've got work here to do though. Still,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind going back, but also I'm kind of tied here.
Yeah.
But Tataru is like, well, if you seem to so curious about going home, well, I've got another sample. So why don't you be the ones to go with the Warrior of Light to deliver it to your hometown?
Yes, and that's what we end up doing. We travel to Palika's stand. Well, no, we travel to we do travel to Palika's stand. Yeah, and
Well, no, we travel to Razathan first. They go on a tour, and then we go to Palika's stand.
oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, that's what we do. And then we talk to the village elder, and they were like dressed in the garb. They visit the village elder, talk to him, and they're like, "What's everything looks good here," and he's like, "Yeah, it's all right. We've recovered for the most part, but they want to help still. They want to do something for their village, so we go around talking to people in the village to see what we can find, and it's very obvious, like what's going to happen here, but we talk to a lady that does." She's like
handicrafts.
She does that. And then there was a lady. I don't remember exactly what she said, but like it's all like you can see potential here for stuff that can happen. And then they want to go to a temple, the temple, I should say, the one that's on the map.
The one that they all fled to during the final days.
Yes. And that's in one of those walk with like escort NPCs quests. It's so good that you can just mount up now. Oh, that was I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's a long fucking walk. You get there, they pray, I guess, to like because their parents died in the final days. And that's when they're like, oh, we can what do you suppose we do now? And that's when you can I guess you do get a choice. But essentially they figure out that they want to do like a cooperation, like they want to what is it called?
They want to help support their village by promoting the villagers' like wares as part of Tataru's endeavor.
They can make little trinkets.
Endeavor, even.
Yeah. And so we go back to Tataru, tell her, oh yeah, I should have mentioned this at the very beginning. The aura behind the counter, she's like, oh, but there's something that we need to finish at some point, she says as well. That's going to come back now, because when we travel back, well, is it actually maybe before we go? Oh, it's before we go. She says we need to finish the necklace. And there's another option there, which is like we're going to give it to a person whose name, of course, I don't remember. And you get the choice of being like, she would like that, or I was kind of hoping I could do that.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the goldsmith that she worked for, or something along the lines of back when she worked in Uldar.
Right.
Before she started working for Minfilia.
Yeah.
For Tataru, we're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. So we go back and we tell Tataru about... I don't know if we go to Tataru first or we go finish the necklace first, but let's say for how I'm going to tell this, we go and fix the necklace first. We sort out the necklace, and she's like, but we want... Here's the touch we want you to like put on it. We want you to put the
engrave. Is it Naldthal's symbol on the back?
Naldthal, yeah, on the back. And so you do, and then we go to Tataru, and we're like, and they're like, we'd like to stay, please, because we found a new purpose. Like we can help them from here. And she agrees. And then we give her the necklace with her mother's gem in it, and it's a very nice moment. And then that's it. And then she says, I know you're going far away, but I'm probably gonna pull you into some shit anyways. So
yeah.
Promise for more Tataru, I guess, or at least a hint.
And the reward is essentially the the traveler's gear, but for your chocobo.
Yes. You get some barding. And that is Tataru's grand endeavor.
I thought that this final part was less meaningful than previous ones because I didn't care about these NPCs.
No.
Whereas all the previous ones had us going back and interacting with NPCs that were involved in massive storylines that I did enjoy.
It felt random, especially since they dragged that dude in, like whom we didn't even know the name of before the quest. So, whatever, I guess. But yeah,
I much preferred interacting with the Red Bills, the Four Lords, and Gaius and Ali.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought that was like the whole point of this thing, but it would have been. I don't know. I think the fact that there's like just this pop-up NPC that just came into the story. I was like, oh, now we're gonna have this big story moment with this guy who you just met. I just don't care about them. No.
Sadly, I just don't know these people.
No. It was all right, but yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Tataru's grand endeavor. Reward the barding. That's it for that quest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, quickly then, Island Sanctuary, and I think you're the only one who can speak on this one.
Yes, I am the only one that's done this. So there were 2 final quests for Island Sanctuary. We haven't talked about either of them. The first one actually came in 6.55, this 6.5, and then there was one more that they added with 6.55. In 6.5, our next visitors to the island after you level it up to rank 20 were Mundrida's parents. And then, see, the thing about Island Sanctuary is that there's not much... I
should probably have said that.
Yes. The thing about Island Sanctuary is that there's not really much context other than like trying to entertain the visitors while they're there. So what happens is that with Mundrida's parents, Puddingway actually stowed aboard the tiny raft, not raft, but like rowboat that they came onto the island on. Where he hid, I don't know. There's a very small boat. But Puddingway comes and then like we're entertaining them. Puddingway's like, I came here because I was told that this is where the best pudding comes from. And then we're like, there's no pudding on this island. But Mundrida's parents has the idea of making the biggest pudding around. So we make this giant pudding with like a giant cauldron, like similar to ones that like has appeared in Matoya's. Oh no, it's similar to the giant cauldron that appears in like the underground of the Crystarium.
Oh yeah.
So we essentially just make a giant pudding. Oh yeah, there was something about chickens as well that you had to avoid, but I don't remember exactly how that worked.
Okay.
It was a weird minigame where you had to carry something while avoiding... It's similar to, like... You remember that gate where you had to not be seen by people?
Oh my god. Yes, I do.
But it's not like as bad as that. You just had to not touch the chickens.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better.
Yeah, they'd just stun you.
Yeah.
And they'd cut away from your holding time, and if you failed, you'd have to start again. But I don't think anyone would be that bad, because it's not that difficult.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you did fail this.
Okay.
Harsh.
We make a giant pudding, a massive pudding. You know, one of those giant wobbly puddings that.
Puddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a puddy pudding.
Yeah.
And everyone's happy.
Puddy.
Okay.
And then this ends with Tataru saying, we've got one last visitor that wants to come visit the island. And I'm like, ooh, I didn't expect another visitor. I thought that this would end with 6.5, but no, it didn't. We got one more quest line. And this time, Euless and members of the First Imperial Legion come to visit. And I was like, this is an interesting series of guests. I wouldn't have expected this.
Yeah.
And so this is like, we basically show them around the island, and they're like, wow, this is like back when the Garleans were like an agricultural society that was like treated poorly by everyone. But like, this is nostalgic. So let us help the what are they called? Mammoths.
Oh.
With their jobs around the island. So they enjoy doing that. And then Tataru's like, I forgot to give them their outfits. So we go around giving everyone like their island outfits, and then Euless gets dressed up in the fucking dad core outfit because for some reason that's the one Tataru thinks best suits him.
Okay.
But also when you speak to Euless, there's this guy next to him. This is an optional part of the quest line. It only appears if you have done what was it called? The quest line you do with Omega that we had in 6.1.
The quest you do with Omega
Yeah.
in 6.1?
Yeah.
You mean like the OMG thing, or like the?
It was something like Beyond the Void, or not Beyond the Void.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, where you bring Omega to like to speak with the Watcher.
The
and
mini
stuff.
one, OMG.
Yeah, OMG. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's coming back to me now. Yeah. Okay. So only
Just
if
saying
you,
Omega made me think of
the Alpha
the
and
actual Omega. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is actually Omega inside the OMG. Then.
It is now,
Yeah,
true,
yeah,
but
yeah.
still.
Yeah. But so the person that's with Euless is a friend of his from the First Legion, but he's also one of the people that you brought Omega to see when we were in Garlemald. And like he was trying to when Omega was trying to understand what purpose do you have to keep going?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Then
yeah.
he helped explain it to him.
Mhm.
So you get an extra little cutscene if you've done that.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
And then it ends with you all on the beach, having a fun time together. And your reward is 6 pieces of Garlian cheese.
Whoa!
Aw.
Incredible.
Congrats.
Yeah.
You got an outfit, I think, for the 6.5 one, if I'm remembering correctly.
Who cares about an outfit? 6 Garlian cheeses.
Dude. Have you? I mean, Garlian cheese is that's renowned around the world. Everyone knows
What
of the
is
Garlian
that cheese like?
It's not even an edible item.
Oh.
It's just an ingredient.
Oh,
That's so random. I love that.
what is that cheese?
I don't know. It sounds. I feel like their cheese would be shit. I'm sorry, but how do you make cheese up there? Like
a fresh cheese known for its rich yet tangy flavour. What do you think that's related to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it like
So,
a
I will
soft
say-
cheese?
I think maybe it's
Is
like a
it
brie.
kind of stuff we'll get stuck on.
Yeah, this is more interesting than the actual like.
You're
all of the
probably right. I mean, ultimately, most of the quests that happen on Island Sanctuary are very unimpactful. They're just nice experiences you get to have where you get to like interact with like characters from the past. It's similar to Tataru's Grand Endeavour. You're just like bringing in people from the previous quest lines and see them in a more like relaxing environment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. We stumbled our way through 6.55 part 2.
I don't think this one was a miss. This is an unusable episode.
I'm gonna have to work when I edit this episode. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Now, can I quickly say, I'd say one of the issues with the 6.55 quests, they're all one and dones. There's nothing repeatable here, sadly.
Right.
Yeah, it was a weak patch in terms of content for the massive drought we are now in.
Yeah, that's true.
But thankfully they announced the Moogle Tombstone event, which
Hell
is
yeah,
And it's a 2-parter.
very exciting
so-
and repeatable.
Yeah.
it's very repeatable.
Okay, folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, same time for the last time. Same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHighland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server if you're watching on demand. Link is in the description. And by last time, I mean, it's not the last time we're doing a show ever, but it's the last time we're doing it on a Sunday. Even though it might feel like it's the last time we're doing a show today. No, we'll be doing it on Sunday next week. All right.
They're not taking us to the home yet.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. But they are getting close. I can hear their footsteps.
Still got my faculties.
All right. We'll see you in the poster if you're watching live. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.